Hey there folks, Pliskin by 51mm, and today I figured I'd go ahead and do a video on how I clean my AR-15 here. I just figured why not, because I did a video on how to clean my M1A, so I may as well do one on how to clean the AR. Alright, so first what I'm going to focus on is the upper receiver, or the upper, and the bolt carrier and everything inside up here before I worry about the barrel. And I'll take the bolt down and clean it too. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that. Let me move my oil. The oil I use is this Dew Point Teflon silicone lubricant right here in the orange can. It's some good stuff. I've been using it for a few years. Alright, so just open up the upper here. Let's see, and go ahead and get the bolt out. Come on. Been being stubborn. There's the bolt. Set that there. And the charging handle. Okay. Now I did clean this the other day, but I ran them reloads. No, it was this Winchester White Box 5.56 ammo through it the other day, so it's dirty. Alright, so I got the upper and lower separated. I'm going to set the lower down here on the floor because I don't need to worry about it just yet. So what I'm first going to focus on is cleaning out the upper up here. Let me move my camera to where I can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm going to clean out the upper part up here because see, it's pretty filthy. And if you look right there, see, can you see it, that little silver tube? I should have brought my flashlight. Here, let me get one. There's an old one up here. Oops, I bumped the camera. Alright. That tube right there, that's the gas tube. That's what cycles the bolt. Of course, AR owners will know that for sure, because they obviously own one. But for the new people who watch this and may want to know how to clean their AR, that may be something to look forward to when you guys get yours, you new guys. Alright, so I'm going to put some oil on the end of this Q-tip here. And I'm going to wipe out the upper up here. Just clean the whole top part of the upper. So it gets pretty filthy. That's in complete contrast to the M1A. The M1A M14 is operated by a completely different gas system. This has a direct impingement gas system, meaning that when the bullet is fired out of the chamber, the powder behind the bullet acts as a gas and goes up through a little hole here in the barrel in this gas block, and the gas that enters up through here travels back a little silver looking tube into this little tube right here and hits this gas key on top of the bolt carrier, and then the gas enters this and pushes it back, and that's what cycles the AR-15. The M14 functions on a piston system, meaning that there is an actual physical piston that bumps the bolt, or in the case of the M14, the bolt carrier. Well, no, not bolt carrier. there's a physical piston that bumps the op rod for the M1A. It's a completely different system. It's a short stroke gas piston, the M14 is. So, see, I'm still rubbing the top up in here and getting some carbon out of the top of the upper. I'll move my camera so y'all can see that a little bit better. Alright, I moved the camera down a little bit so you guys can see me getting back in here and hitting the gas tube and the little recesses right here inside the upper receiver. My hand might get in the way a little bit, so I apologize. Let me oil up my cotton swab again here. Alright, so what I do is I take my cotton swab and I just rub it along the top up here, and it picks up quite a bit of carbon. I think I'm about done hitting it. It's got quite a bit. See, because if you see up in here, let me move my flashlight. You can see there's still some here, and there's a carbon that builds up around the bottom side of that tube in the upper. Move that back. Oops. Trying to get my light situated. There we go. Okay. It's still pretty gunky up in there. Let me get another cotton swab. Now there's multiple ways to clean an AR-15. It's just like any other gun. There's really no correct way to clean one. And this is the way that works best for me, so I'm just showing you guys my method. Let's move my barrel back. I got my flashlight set up back here at the back end of the upper, and letting the light shine down into the upper receiver so you guys can see, hopefully see a little bit better what I'm doing. Alright, I'll just take this and a dry end and wipe it down. See, there's not as much powder up there in the top. I mean, there is and there isn't. Alright, so that's how I clean the little gas tube up here and the upper part of the upper receiver. Now I'll show you how I clean the chamber face. Alright, here's my chamber face. As you can see here, the locking lugs, there's 6 of them, and that is where the bolt pivots and the head of the bolt here locks up. See, it's got the locking lugs. So that's where them recess and cam in and out. And then you can see my feed ramps here. Alright, so how I clean the chamber face is I take a cotton swab and I just run it around the inside and outside of the bolt face here. Now my fingers may obstruct some of what I'm doing, so bear with me. See, look at all that nasty grime that's in there. Let me see if I can get that to focus. Yeah, all that carbon. So just keep wiping. Let me turn my cotton swab around and hit it with some more oil. Come up in here. Man, it's got some gunk up in there. Now see, I can't really quite get this side right here real good, so after I turn the camera off, I'll hit this side. But for right now, just for demonstration, showing how I do it, I'm just going to hit up around in here. But the same concept applies to both sides of the chamber face. More gunk. Come on, camera. There we go. My camera has been having autofocus problems for the past year or so. I dropped it once last summer on top of its head, or the top part of it, I should say, and it hasn't quite been the same ever since, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll be able to get up around in here. Okay, I just hit it with some more oil, as you can see, and there's more grime. Yeah, it's not going to focus. See, that's my camera's auto-focusing problem. I'm getting the inside of the chamber there a little bit too. There's some crap. In contrast to these things, these AR-15s, they get a lot dirtier than the M1A, M14. But they're about as easy to clean. Alright, now just wipe off the chamber face there on the opposite side of the lugs. Just oil it all up. I'm going to be running rags through the barrel anyway. So, hope it's focusing on the wrong thing. There it goes. I'm going to be running rags through the barrel anyway, so the chamber will get clean. Down in there will get clean, but out here, this bolt face, it's kind of good to wipe it down and touch it up with cotton swabs or a rag. And I'll hit it one more time, and then I'll cut to the next part. Just oil it up right here and get the feeding ramps and get on the inside. Gotta get my gun ready for the impending Civil War. And one more time. I'll get around up here on this back side. The side of the bolt face, chamber face that's facing me. And there we go. That's pretty much how it's done. Alright, next I'm going to take the bolt apart, the bolt carrier and the bolt, and clean them.